I was planning on doing something yesterday. Just was not in the right frame of mind. I was not. I was not in the right frame of mind to do this yesterday. So I had to go out, smoke a hookah, come back, take a nap, wake up, remember what happened last night, and some of the nonsense that I've seen, and come back and get to this video anyways, because that's kind of the person I am. If I commit myself to do something, sooner or later I'm going to do it. Okay. Yesterday I saw arguably one of the most one of the most prodigiously how would I put it? Prodigiously overall talented performer in pro wrestling of this generation. Put over arguably the worst performer of in the history of pro wrestling. The worst. Perhaps the worst. And coming out of the Royal Rumble, a 16-time champion is John Cena. Just like you had in 2009. Coming out of the Rumble was John Cena. Coming out of the main Rumble match was Randy Orton. Just like in 2009. I've seen the match. I've seen it. And rest assured, I didn't pay. I did not pay, nor did I add to the WWE Network subscription count, even by one. I did not. I found a way to watch it. I found a way. But like I said, I mean, I shouldn't exactly say that it doesn't confuse me anymore. No, I shouldn't say that it confuses me how people can call this a 5-star match. You have some fucking idiots out there like JD from New York. I don't know what the fuck his area code is. His area code might as well be straight up Vince's asshole. That's where he lives. And you want to know, yeah, I know this motherfucker, right? Yeah. He made a video with Broken Matt Hardy. I know that, and he fucked that up too. He's just standing there like, yeah, I'm deleted, yeah. You have people who are fucking overrating this shit, giving this if Omega Okada was a 6.6, this match most certainly deserves a 5.5 star out of 5 star. The fuck out of here, man. Once again, I have met people in live person who say you should respect John Cena for this match. Why? Why should I respect him for this match? What has he done that we haven't seen 1,000 times? What has he done different? Name me 5 things that this Botchfest has done. 5 things that could be classified as good. 5 things in this match. Trust me. No, and people want to take shots at hardcore wrestling fans, I won't say hardcore, I'll say actual connoisseurs of the art. like Bruce Blitz, and like and a few other people I've seen out there. First of all, like yeah, one of them includes JD. First of all, JD, you would be lucky to be a stray dog, to actually, actually pass by Bruce Blitz in the middle of the road, in terms of how you cover the product and how Bruce covers the product. Trust me, there are a lot of people trying to copy Bruce Blitz right now. Nobody's trying to copy anyone else. And yeah, I've seen the review. I've seen JD's review. I've seen Bruce's review. And like, I've appreciated this about Bruce a very long time ago. He actually provides a very objective perspective on pro wrestling, where you are left with very little. We're left with very little room for having your complete opinions, because he makes a convincing argument. He makes a very convincing argument. Some cocksuckers like JD, they actually think the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match at WrestleMania, I don't know what that was, where Undertaker pile drove himself trying to do a plancha. That's the best match of all time. Repeat that, of all time. You have people coming out and saying, well, John Cena told a story. What story did he tell? What story did he tell that we haven't seen? What? You get a bunch of kickouts? Guys, trust me. You know what? No, I'm not ashamed to say this, but I'm sort of ashamed at who's doing this with me. Okay, I kind of do the same degree. I'm kind of doing the same degree as Xavier Woods is right now. Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing. It's a bit embarrassing that Xavier Woods is doing the same. Is not exactly, but a similar degree to mine. But whatever. In it, we come across a lot of psychology, and this is what Vince has done. This is a classic case of classical conditioning, where they see a bunch of matches. Do you have a kick out of finishers, which before this wasn't as prevalent, but this was with good wrestlers before, like Rock and Austin, people who could wrestle, and people who could sell and tell a story. And they automatically, and they ended up that match ended up being awesome. So they automatically associate the kickouts associate kickouts with an awesome match. It's called a neutral stimulus becoming, or unconditional stimulus becoming a conditional stimulus leading to a conditional response. It's classic. It's classic animal training behaviorism. Straight up animal training behaviorism. This is what Vince has done. I've seen the match. I don't know what match you've seen. I've seen the match. Cena did one move clean. One move. One. Like that has at least some considerable work for Cena to do. One move clean. I'm not talking about the electric chair face buster. Electric chair face buster, he just stands up and does something that Cena is very used to doing. Sitting down on his ass. He did one good move, or passable move. The sunset flip powerbomb. You're gonna tell me a match that has one good move of Cena did the work? What story did Cena tell? Did Cena sell any part of his body? Go watch the Shinsuke Nakamura and Bobby Roode match and see the story Bobby Roode told. See the story Shinsuke Nakamura told. What story did Cena tell? What did he do? What, he kicked out of finishers? Because Cena's given this format. Have you still not noticed? Only against Cena are the other wrestlers allowed. Most of the time they're allowed to pull off, the big moves. Only against Cena, only against Roman Reigns. 98% of the time. Have you not noticed that? And here's where I came to a conclusion. Like, people who obviously don't notice this and choose to stay blind. Choose to stay blind to these. Choose to stay blind and believe that their opinion matters. No, their opinions do not matter. They have a counterproductive opinion. It does not matter. Their opinions have no basis. Compared to an opinion that has basis, the opinions that do not have any basis do not matter. And by that equation, the opinions do not have any basis compared to the opinions that have a basis. The opinions that do not have a basis should not be respected. What should be respected is the right to express that opinion. Not that opinion to be accepted. Only the right to express it. Trust me, I'm not telling anybody, don't say this thing, don't say that thing, or you'll get into trouble. No, say it. Say it. I will come back at you. Because that's my freedom of expression. That's my opinion on your opinion. And people, this person, this botchmaster professional wrestling, botchmaster, one thing, he would not survive in the indies. Go look at the indies and see how good the wrestling is. And dick riding faggots like, JD from New York. Okay. Do you know, like, I've come to understand what you actually like. You like the WWE format. You like the actual drama of it. Like, you like the kick, the kick out. You are not a fan of the technical aspect of a lot of things. This is why for you, no, because I clearly remember one of the reasons you said, like, why you like the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match as your greatest match, because you was there. That means you had an emotional investment. That means not only for JD from UF, to a lot of people, this fucking company has actually, like, who's one of his head figures says that philanthropy is like something like philanthropy as the future of marketing, the way business will move forward, which would seem not definite, would seem like this person is saying that, it would seem like this person is saying, in just how I interpret it, not a definitive interpretation, how I interpret it, is that how businesses move forward is by exploiting charities. This company, the only reason people are hanging on to this company is perhaps a form of Stockholm Syndrome, or they're hanging on to a relic from their past. Because they were WWF fan in their past, and so it has become a part of their childhood. A relic from their childhood whose effects still are seen in their adult years. Well, guess what? I'm here to say, after what you've seen right now, fuck that relic from your childhood. Fuck it. Fuck it, and fuck the lies that a lot of these people choose to live by. Fuck them. And let me tell you something more. this is not just a problem confined to wrestling. No. One of the most disturbingly of all, I have seen this in academia. What is supposed to, not exactly to this proportion, I've seen traces of this in academia. What is supposed to build our youth. I will not get into those details over here because this is not a video on academia. Like, I kind of feel awkward doing this, but like, guys, AJ Styles, one of my top 2 wrestlers. If not of this generation, like in my top 5, I'm putting it top 5, top 6. I'm pretty sure I'm putting AJ Styles over there of all time. I'm putting at least like he's gonna be in that like exclusive launch table of greats, no, of the greats of all time. John Cena will be, I won't say lunch table. He'll be sitting on the ground, on a dirty ground, next to some trash cans, reserved for the worst of all time. If you, after what you saw last night, what reason has the WWE given you after 12 years of John Cena being pushed down your throat over and over again? After 12 years, what hope has WWE given you? No, what reason have they given you to have hope in this product? Because they were a part of your childhood? Fuck that part of your childhood right now. If holding on to a part of your childhood means that, like, the other companies like a Ring of Honor, like a TNA, like a Lucha Underground, like Evolve, who can barely make ends meet. If that part of your childhood results in them being held down and true progress of this industry being halted, then fuck that part of your childhood. Your opinions do not matter because they're based on lies and fallacies. And yes, it requires a little bit of higher order of thinking. And I'll tell you what surprised me. What surprised me is that with the information, with the abundance of information we have right now, with the ease of learning we have right now, the people of this day and age are acting stupider and more spineless than they did back in, maybe 15, 20 years ago, or even back in the 90s. So yes, it requires a little higher order of thinking. Okay? Try. You'll get to it. And trust me, learn to accept that this company, this cherished part of your childhood, is best left only a memory. So just move the fuck on and give these other companies a chance if you're that much of a fan of pro wrestling. Yes, it is possible. Just try. Wrestling can be seen objectively. Not completely of it, not the totality of it, but a very good amount of it. Wrestling can be seen objectively, especially in a world where we live in, where MMA is so ridiculously popular right now. In a world where we live in, where sports like boxing is still selling out the Wembley Arena. Boxing is still selling out the Wembley Arena. Okay? Wrestling, they're not completely, it's still entertainment industry. It is basically simulated combat. And that's where the thing lies. That's where the objective part of it lies. This Cena versus, are you kidding me? This Cena versus AJ Styles match, this was not even half as good. Not even half as good as the Lashley versus Eddie Edwards match that happened in Genesis, the Iron Man match. Go watch that match. Go watch the story being the psychology of Bobby Lashley. Go watch the story being told by Eddie Edwards. Go watch their moves. Go watch how clean they hit everything. And you have this you have this jumbo dick guzzling faggot from New York saying that he sees Roman Reigns in Bobby Lashley. What are you watching? What are you watching? In what regard do you compare a Roman Reigns to a Bobby Lashley? That means you don't even watch it for the combat element of it. You don't watch it for the in-ring element. You watch it from a WWF scrotum built goggles. That's how you watch it. You watch it through a view of a WWE fan and WWF fan. And yeah, one more thing about this dude, JD. Yeah, I know I'm going on in this, but yeah, this goes to him and a lot of other people with him. Yes, another person, Wrestling Jesus. Oh, you think JD is bad? Wrestling Jesus is absolutely deplorable. Deplorable with this shit. Yeah, but I remember this guy saying like, and don't get me wrong. Yeah, he watches Lucha, he watches TNA and all that. Yeah, this is doing a review of Final Deletion. And guys, if you know, I've rated the Final Deletion as perhaps the greatest segment of all time. And I'm like the segment, not a feud, a segment. And I'm yet to come across someone to provide a better segment than Final Deletion. Okay, but this guy, towards the beginning of the review, he says that he has been a wrestling fan all his life. In his stupid ass. No, you know what? I'm not gonna say it. Yeah. But he's been a wrestling fan for a long time. He has watched WWF since the mid '80s or something like that. He barely mentioned any other company, and he calls himself a wrestling fan. He didn't watch the better companies which were around that time. A lot of them had very good matches, like the AWA, the NWA. Okay, then in the '90s, you had the explosion of WCW. You had the emergence of Sting. You had the emergence of DDP. You had the rebirth of Hulk Hogan, but this time as a heel. You had the great feuds of the Four Horsemen. You had the great feuds of Chris Benoit and all not and whatnot. You had Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, Rey Mysterio. Like you had them doing the thing in WCW. No, this guy said I was a WWF fan. You had ECW, which was breaking new grounds in North America. Say what you want, like they copied from Japan. Maybe they did, but in North America, they were breaking new grounds. No, he was a fan of WWF, and he called himself a wrestling fan. Yeah. Bunch of hypocrites. Bunch of delusional hypocrites. People, if you still want the overall industry, not WWE, overall industry to increase, to improve, I told you, support another company such as a Lucha, such as a Ring of Honor, such as a TNA, such as an Evolve. Why I support TNA? First of all, I grew up with it, and next, it has overall always delivered a better product, even in the women's division, as compared to the women's main roster in WWF or WWE. Delivered a much better overall product. And third, although by a long shot in North America right now, this is the closest, this is the second mainstream company that we have. You don't have any other mainstream companies. So yeah, it sort of happens by default. You have to support the other company and boost competition for this thing to get better. This is what helped Vince make it better in the 90s. A lot of people forget Vince was the last to the dance between WWE, WWF, WCW, and ECW. Vince was the last to the dance to make changes. So the solutions out there. If you don't want to do, it's your choice. You don't want to act upon the solution, it's your choice. But you know, the consequences are there. The product's not going to get better. And people, if you're disappointed with Royal Rumble, if you cancel your network, if you're looking for your good wrestling fix on mainstream, go watch Open Fight Night in TNA Thursday. Genesis was a 9 out of 10 show. Open Fight Night, I believe, it won't be as good, but it'll still be decent. It'll be better than Royal Rumble. Trust me, it'll be better, way better than Royal Rumble and Monday Night Raw and Tuesday Night SmackDown. Trust me. All right, that's about it. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos. If you'd like to see me do any particular topic video, let me know. And follow me on Twitter at TanTiger01. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's MC Tam on the Veer side signing out.